we have many sakis. We'll try at least one more. Jorge, thank you so much for joining us and making that food. If you can package it up, I'll send you my address. And I look forward to seeing your success and good food news. And look, let's chat. Let's chat more.
Sounds great. Thanks so much for having me, guys. Nice to meet you
Thanks,
all.
Chef.
Thank you. Okay, guys. Let's do a couple of things here that we had on the agenda. Let's queue up.
Mallory Smith said, "Keep going. I have all night."
She better be showing me her pizza. She was supposed to do pizza sake, so Mallory, get in on that. I want to select another sake for us to try. I have a clip I want to cut to because I have to show my brother's pairing that he sent in, and then Julia, I want us to get into the conversation about how precious we need to be around sake. So, who wants to select the next one from our little special stash here?
Go for it, Monica.
I kind of feel like Julia should introduce this next one because we're going to do Fukucho Moon on the Water. And I know Miho Imada and Julia have a, whatever the female version of a bromance is. But this is this is a producer who I know is a just hero and icon to Marcus and Julia and myself. This is one of the hardest working women I've ever met in or out of sake, and she is. You can see her picture on the back label of that bottle, Kelly. If you look on the back label, she looks like such a badass, right? I mean,
oh my god.
Monica, side note, I gave her that idea about 10 years ago to start putting her picture on the label.
Marcus.
Thank goodness. Yeah, she's wonderful. She's not only the master brewer of Fukucho, but she's also the family owner. And she studied law. She worked in kabuki theater. She's worn so many hats, and she went back to Hiroshima to carry on her family's legacy. And she has zero ego. She just works as hard as she can, and she really wants to put her region of Hiroshima on the map, which is known as the birthplace of ginjo. And when we talk about ginjo, it's just a really cold, slow fermentation that creates sakes that jump out of the glass. And this one should be so aromatically pronounced compared to the first two. A lot of pineapple and fennel and anise and violet. Just really beautiful and vivacious style.
I want to send a bottle of this to Jorge after the descriptions he had of what he had experienced in the sake. Like, he's gonna have fun with this one. Is this also the woman who just had a huge...
She was recognized by BBC as one of the 100 most inspiring women of 2020.
Yep. Thank you. I remember us talking about that, and I looked her up. So, Julia, why do you love this sake?
Oh my gosh. So, I remember before opening Kumiko and tasting this particular sake and just how it absolutely sprung from the glass. And I wasn't tasting from a wine glass or tasting glass or anything like that. It was just a very, simple, kind of slightly rounded ochoko style like this, but even still the aromatics, the texture of it. And I was struck by this incredible ripe tropical fruit note that was coming through, hints of baking spice, and this essence of a floral quality. And the other thing that I love about this sake, though, is that every time I taste it, and it's from a different batch or a different brew year, I start to taste different things. And so this is actually, the bottle that I got is from, it was released March 2020. And so it's my first time tasting this, and that floral note that I typically get and often think of violets, now I'm getting more of a rose note. And then somehow it took me to pistachios and like baklava almost. So this just stunning, like honeyed quality, that acidity. I haven't even tasted it. I've just been smelling it. It is so, so beautiful. And Miho-san's sakes inspire cocktails for me. So I write tasting notes of her bottles and then take those and turn them directly into cocktails. One thing that I love to do is to actually use a good portion of the build of that drink with the actual bottle or the actual sake that inspired it. and then serve it at Kumiko, where you get a cocktail and then a pour of the sake that inspired it, and then one other element that's from Japan
That's
that
a
people may
great
not have
idea.
tried before.
Wow.
Thank you.
I
I call
love
them
that.
component
Love that.
flights, but it was a really fun way to convert people from,
Uh,
you know, not knowing anything about sake or being scared to try it or thinking that it's one thing into diehard fans of it. And my goal has been to take people from drinking cocktails and make them sake drinkers. Like, don't make me make drinks anymore. Let me just pour beautiful liquid for you, because it's like a cocktail in and of itself. And yeah, Miho-san sake was something that really inspired that vision for Kumiko. So
Well, I'm not
great.
sure if that was like the perfect segue or then maybe not the best segue, but Lucas, our producer, who is obsessed with sake, put a little cocktail video together with the cocktail you make using this sake. So we're going to show it, make it at home, and do as Julia advised, where pour the sake by itself and try the cocktail, get some food, sake sandwich. Are you ready, Luke? She's got a beautiful label too. It's gorgeous.
yeah.
Oh, and that's green tea from Sri Lanka, just in case, anybody was curious. You're gonna know if you did something wrong now. Julia's right here.
I want her to judge me. I want her to judge me.
She's gonna be like, dude, that's not how I make it.
It looks fantastic. I love the brewing vessel.
We're gonna have another interesting segue, because he'll kill me if I don't show this. I sent him some sake in Missouri. I asked if he drank sake, liked it. His wife didn't have much interest, Adrian, but he said, sign me up. So, brother sent me a very long video. Thanks, Chris. We're going to just do a little snippet and see how in Missouri he's pairing it. I can also embarrass him because he's been embarrassing me. When he starts, he shows off his pairing.
So, original fare, whose name's in the title, and I'll put on my feed.
If you can't tell, he's a Chiefs
link to him.
fan.
Asked me to participate in this soccer.
So I want to show off his food pairing here. This is traditional.
That's probably closer anyway.
Traditional Missouri food right here.
I'm not very good at that. Oh yeah, my food. So let's see. I got a nice little meat and cheese tray, some chocolate covered cashews, some garlic almonds, and then
And I see he's got a beer on the side too. Brother, thank you. I love that you represent Missouri so well in the meat and cheese tray, and it really. But I'm glad you did it. And anybody who wants to watch the full video, go to my Instagram. It brings up a question that I get a lot about the subject of sake, which is how precious do we need to be, both with the way what we eat it with, but also the vessels we consume it in. How ceremonial is the sake experience? And I want to hear from each of you.
My thoughts on it is to, if you make it so delicate, so special, it's a once in a while occasion, then you're not really going to enjoy sake. I think you should be able to drink sake with just about anything, and so you should explore your favorite food and try sake with it. And I do think we should, when you're tasting it, you should also think about how many years and centuries have gone into the history behind this sake and all the hard work and effort that the brewers do to bring this sake to you, which I think we need to honor, and instead of dropping it into a beer and go, sake bomb.
The sake bombs of our late teens in New York City.
Showing the respect to the brewers that put so much behind their life's work with it. But at the same time, they want you to enjoy it with whatever you like to eat.
Well, and when
So
I was at the Longhouse having a traditional Japanese ceremony after the harvest, I mean, with the guys, we were having the sake, we were having kambishi, and then cold beers as well.
yeah, it's just it's meant to be with food. It's meant to just you drink it with friends. It even tastes better when you drink it with friends. And after you've opened a bottle of sake, it lasts for much longer than wine will. So you can enjoy it for a long period of time.
And Julia, how are vessels important? I mean, I have. We're gonna see if they did their pizza pairing. My friends Martin and Mallory at Sunday School Wine. Martin is very snobby about what wine glass certain wines are experienced out of. What's your take on sake?
Well, there are certain glasses that do capture aromatics really, really well. And then there are some that are so, delicate and thin that you may feel the cold of the drink before hitting your lips before you're even tasting it or sensing it on your palate. And then there are some that are a little bit more rustic in nature and ceramic and tactile in a way, and each of them holds their own experience. And I think that speaks to how special Japanese sake is that it is a very personal experience, and that it can be a gorgeous and extremely expensive junmai daiginjo or daiginjo shu, sipped from wine glasses or from crystal kiriko glasses even. Or it could be a giant bottle. I have this really lovely tokubetsu junmai here, like a 1.8 liter bottle of tobing, that's meant to be enjoyed with a couple of friends, poured from a little vessel in the middle of the table into tiny, tiny little cups filled to the brim.
Yeah.
That you just sip away, and all of a sudden that giant bottle is gone. And I think it speaks to the work of the sake makers. They're putting their heart and soul into it, not because they want you to enjoy it in a particular way, but just because they want you to enjoy it and to experience it. And I think however you choose to do it is perfect.
Yeah. It's more about you try it, do it, appreciate it,
Yeah.
make it